But we begin tonight with breaking news. A Houston firefighter is injured after being hit by a fire truck during a large apartment fire near Hobby Airport, displacing hundreds of residents.
The firefighter was pinned between a fire truck and a district chief's SUV. We have live team coverage for you tonight. We begin with Channel 2 anchor Keith Garvin, live off of Broadway near Belfort, with the newest information on that firefighter injured. Keith?
Dominic, Andy, that injured firefighter was one of dozens of firefighters who responded to the scene earlier this evening. As you can see behind me, things have returned to normal after firefighters knocked down this fire and began their investigation. But as you can imagine, they are certainly keeping their minds on their injured comrade tonight. While fighting a fire at this large apartment complex in southeast Houston, just north of Hobby Airport, firefighters not only had to focus on the flames and people who needed rescue, but on their comrades as well. Several who got separated in the chaos and smoke, and one pinned by a rolling engine.
He is stable, and he is being transported to the medical center.
But not life-threatening?
Not life-threatening, no, sir.
Not life-threatening, but certainly painful and frightening. A source within the department says the firefighter was at the back of this SUV retrieving his air pack and noticed an engine start moving forward. He thought the driver was just moving the engine into a better parking position. He looked back and it not only did not stop, it pinned his legs between the engine and SUV. The firefighter says he yelled out and other firefighters came running and had to move the SUV forward, and the engine itself still was moving forward.
The parking brake either was not engaged or there may have been system failure. That's something that we're going to have to look into.
Two separate mayday calls went out as well. In both cases, fire crews were separated from each other, but in both cases, they were able to regroup and continue fighting the flames.
There is an extreme level of focus that's stimulated once the firefighters hear a mayday. And our primary focus at that point is to keep the fire at bay so we can control the incident and rescue our firefighter.
The injured firefighter was transported to the medical center after complaining of thigh pain. He was last listed in stable condition. A source tells us that the air brake on that engine was engaged, so an investigation will have to determine what led to that failure that led to that firefighter being pinned between that engine and that SUV. Reporting live from near Hobby Airport, Keith Garvin, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Keith. Channel 2's Marianne Martinez continues our live team coverage now with more on the hundreds of residents who were displaced tonight. Marianne?
Well, Dominique, the Red Cross is still out here helping some of those residents who have been displaced. But the bigger story out here tonight is the power outage due to that fire. There are about 74 units right now. They do not have electricity. And for many of those residents, that means they will have to find another place to sleep tonight.
I heard a lot of screaming, and I just happened to open my patio door.
Seconds later, Ray William was rushed out of his apartment by the Houston Fire Department as a fire burned a few units away from him. The Red Cross says at least a dozen units have fire, smoke, or water damage and are not livable. Some residents lost everything, including furniture. Jessica Tran was among the anxious residents waiting to hear about her apartment. She told us she only cares about saving her most precious items.
Some certificate, the paperwork, that's it.
Right.
Yes, this is main thing, and I have a laptop.
The Red Cross responded to the fire, assuring residents displaced tenants would have a place to sleep tonight.
I got heart problems, so I worry more so about that because I know that stuff can be replaced.
Good attitude there despite what happened tonight. Now, the latest information from the American Red Cross is that they are helping the 3 families that were directly impacted by the fire. These are the units that actually had flames. Again, other units around there also affected either by smoke or water damage, or some people seeking shelter because of electricity. And we're told that Centerpoint will be working throughout tonight to restore power to those units. Reporting live, Marianne Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.